Happy Halloween from the Cosmic Panel. We hope you guys have been getting in the spooky spirit this year. We wanted to let you guys know what we're going to dress up as for Halloween this year. Lucas, what's your costume going to be?
I'm going to be the gecko from Geico. You know, that very famous character.
For me this year, I'm going to be the kid with the extremely powerful weapon on his wrist. That's right, I'm going to be Ben 10. Check this shit out. I'm about to transform into the most powerful being in the universe.
Fuck.
Hey everybody, welcome to the weekly polls. Last week was a huge week. This week is a bit smaller, but still some good books nonetheless. So let's get right into it. Lucas, what is your first pick?
My first pick is The Nasty, issue number 4. I'm really excited for this. This is finally coming back after a much lengthy hiatus. It really shouldn't have been as long as it did. The last time we got an issue was all the way in July, which is too long. But yeah, we're finally getting a continuation of the story. It's honestly been a very fun horror comedy, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, basically, we learned last issue that Thumper now has an ability to basically, whenever he turns on a camera that he's holding, he can make his imaginary friend, who is basically just fill-in for Jason Voorhees, appear. And after that, when he turns off the camera, basically any of the bad things that he does is basically undone. So he's been filming a horror film with his friends and basically having his friends get killed on camera and then ending the scene, and then his friends are perfectly fine. And it's a weird, interesting twist. And it's kind of leaning into the comedy aspect of it, of like people being like, I was just fucking murdered. What the fuck happened? Like, that felt so realistic.
What a nice friend.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he actually got one of the people that he hates to do it. But yeah, I've been really enjoying the book. It has been phenomenal, and I'm excited for the next issue. What's first up for you, Elias?
Very cool. First up for me is going to be Ultimate Universe number 1, coming in at $6.99. This special has a lot of heavy lifting to do for me. I did not love Ultimate Invasion. I was very excited for it and kind of felt like it was a letdown. But this book right here will hopefully sell me on the Ultimate Universe again. It has to do that for all readers. But they're launching a line of Ultimate titles, including a Jonathan Hickman-led Ultimate Spider-Man book. So, again, I hope that this can make me care about the characters again. I'm a little confused because the maker basically neutralized all the heroes and characters that he wanted to, and one of them was Peter. So again, this issue has to do a lot of heavy lifting, and I hope it's good.
I mean, maybe instead of it stopping the origins, it just basically pushed it down the line, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
The easiest answer. But yeah, I hope this is good. I don't want it to be bad. I want it to be good.
Yeah. I did like the twist of Iron Lad being Tony Stark in this, and we obviously, anyone that knows who Iron Lad is, that means that Kang is Tony Stark. That's a pretty interesting twist, I think. Pretty cool. But yeah, no, definitely interested to see what's going to happen. Also, I do love the comment on League of Comic Geeks where it says, "I'm dropping 3 ongoing so I can afford Hickman tax." So
that's funny. The $4.99 line increase that we were talking about, I think, is only on newer series right now. So Captain America and Daredevil, I've noticed, have been $4.99 for the first 2 issues.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're going to push it out that way a little more slowly, which is at least, good for the time being. A couple months down the line, it won't be. But, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be stopping people from buying more books.
Immortal Thor, I think, is also $4.99.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yikes. What is next up for you?
Next up for me is Tear Us Apart number 3. I have an all indie week this week, so I've been really enjoying a lot of indie books. But this series has been fun. It's been a mix between Fight Club and a love story. Basically, these two characters who we don't even have names for, they're just called boy and girl, are in love with each other. They've been part of a death cult that's basically raises assassins, and they finally decided to run away, and now they're being chased by them. But yeah, no, they're finally going to experience the real world, and it's 1993, so it's going to be a very 90s-tastic type of book. But yeah, no, the action's been great. The story, the characterization has been very fun. I really like it. It's a good mix between a love story and a very brutal fight book.
Word. There hasn't been a ton of variety from Dark Horse recently, so I'm glad to hear that this is a cool series.
Yeah.
Next up for me is going to be Avengers number 7. I am excited for this arc. The last arc kind of dragged for me. Didn't love it, and I was a little surprised, honestly, based on Jed's track record and how he's doing so well with Moon Knight and Doctor Strange. But nonetheless, this is the arc that I think he's been stalling for. This is going to be dealing with the threat that Kang mentioned in Timeless and the threat that Kang fought in the Timeless special from last year. So, yeah, very excited for this arc, and curious to see what's going on with the Vision. He's been very strong in Avengers and Avengers Inc.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree where I'm very excited for this new arc. It definitely, the last arc really did drag. It was a decent arc on paper, but it was split up in a way that wasn't satisfying. Every issue, we never got a conclusion for an actual fight, like a full conclusion, so it always felt like, okay, what's going to happen? It really should have been, if they wanted to keep the length at least, they should have at least done a full fight per issue. And it should have ended with the heroes winning that issue. But yeah, no, I'm excited for this next arc. Vision is one of those characters that I know that Jed really loves. And Vision, they teased it, but Vision not getting any character meeting him during the whole Axe event has really, really bothered him for a long time now. And I'm excited to see how Jed is going to tackle that.
Yeah. What's next up for you?
Next up for me is No One, number 6. This series is really, really ramping up. We're finally getting to a big climax soon to the story. But yeah, no, we're 6 issues in, and we still have no clue who No One is. And as someone who has been listening to the podcast also, on top of reading the book, the podcast really does help expand the story a lot. One of the main characters recently got released. He was one of the main suspects in the entire book, Alex Kern, and basically now he's back on the streets, and yeah, we kind of don't know what's going to happen now because everyone's basically up to their own devices. And during the podcast episode, there was a major point that Julia made, that basically she pointed out that like it's too early in the case to predict who No One is, and her boss tries to make her, like, force her basically to give out some suspects, and she gets so angry to the point where she's like, none of these guys are viable. Like, we shouldn't be putting anyone's name because then they could get injured. Someone could attack them or something like that, thinking that they are No One. And I'm definitely thinking that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's next for you?
Next up for me is going to be Spirit World number 6. Unfortunately, this is the end of the series. Unfortunate DC situation right now where most series are 6-issue minis. But this series has been very strong. I feel like they were just starting to unveil a whole nother side of the DC universe. with all this Chinese mystical characters. And yeah, this series has been really strong, and yeah, just very fun, good art, good dialogue, an interesting new character, Xanth at the core. And yeah, gonna be sad to see this go, but excited to read another issue of it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best new books that DC has released, especially with a new IP in quite a while. And honestly, it really does highlight the fact that books don't usually get past 6 issues nowadays, and it really does suck because this could have easily have been an ongoing, and I could have easily seen the setup for this, where every like couple issues she tackles another person on the council or something like that. But I'm hoping that this gets a continuation in the future because this is just so good.
I would take this opportunity to remind people that the only thing that really affects the lifespan of your favorite series is you pre-ordering it with your local comic shop, because that's the only thing that's going to affect order numbers. You know, it can sell out off the shelves of your local comic shop, but that doesn't really affect how successful the series is. You know, if your local comic shop knows you want that series, you gotta pre-order it, say in advance, hey, I want to subscribe to this series, whatever. Because I'm imagining that's how Unstoppable Doom Patrol got boosted, an extra issue. You know, stuff like that is what really affects the sales and the lifespan of your favorite series. So
Yeah. A lot of DC books ending now, which hurts.
yeah.
A lot of them were really good.
Yeah. What is next up for you?
Next up for me is Traveling to Mars #9. This book has been weird because it's when you boil it down plot wise, it's literally just a man with cancer on a rocket ship to Mars, and it's not anything super crazy, but the exploration of human history and this guy trying to combat his feeling of worthlessness due to the fact that the only thing that he's good for now that he has cancer and hasn't done anything with his life is literally that he can basically claim Mars for a company. That's literally like the whole reason why he's being sent to Mars is because this meat packing company wants to claim the resources on Mars, and yeah, so they're sending him there to claim it, basically. Be like the first man to step on Mars, etc. But last issue we learned a major twist, which was that the rovers that are on Mars had lied. There are no resources. They were just fucking with the humans, basically.
And now he's stuck on a one-way ticket.
Yeah, he has like 2 days worth of oxygen. He says he has cancer. Literally, the cancer only stopped progressing as quickly because he was in zero gravity. But now that he's back on a gravitational planet, like he only has so much time. But yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Word. Yeah, I've seen this on the shelves, but I honestly didn't know anything about it, so sounds interesting.
It's definitely like a very philosophical read more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a lot of just this guy exploring and just talking to himself and talking to his therapist and like thinking about his life. It really isn't that much action, but it's still very, very good.
Word. Very cool. All right. Next up for me is going to be Doctor Strange #9. This arc has been incredibly powerful, incredibly strong, and I'm very excited to see it continue. Clea went the way that I was hoping she was going to go, which was she was trying to infiltrate General Strange, and they have traded blows for a bit, but now Steven has returned with some sort of nightmarish alteration to himself to give himself the power boost that he thinks he needs to defeat General Strange. So very excited to pick up this issue and open it up.
Yeah, and General Strange is really an interesting character because I hate to say that like he deserves to live, but he really does. I mean, he fought 10,000 years for his right to live his life, and then the Vishanti were just like, "Fuck off, you've done your work." So, it's quite sad. I do wonder how this is going to resolve because I wonder if there's a way for Strange to absorb those memories but keep his personality still intact. But I don't know if that would be possible because 10,000 years is fucking shit ton of memories.
This iteration of Strange is so incredibly powerful that it would be interesting to keep him around in the universe, but I also don't know if they can afford to. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting. Really been enjoying this arc.
Yeah, no, really good.
What is your final pick for this week?
So, my final pick for this week is Blood Commandment #1. Usually, I don't choose indie books as my top pick unless I have already read at least the first issue. But there's just this cover alone is already giving me the vibes that I should pick this up. And reading the plot is pretty interesting. It's apparently a father and son are being terrorized by ghosts, a supernatural presence within this cabin. And the father keeps trying to teach his son survival skills. And there's going to be a 4-issue horror miniseries. And I'm really hyped because, if you guys don't know, this is the same artist from Something Epic. Which, Something Epic, even if you don't like the story, to say that the art is lacking is a downright lie. The art in Something Epic is truly just some of the best art I've seen in a comic, period. So for him to be writing and drawing this is... I'm so excited to see what he's going to do, because if this cover is any indication, he is going to be going out there.
Yeah, definitely. Looks really interesting. I hope it's very strong.
Yeah. What's your final pick?
My final pick for this week is going to be X-Men #28. There were 8 if you include the Days of Future Past mini X books last week. But this is the real deal. X-Men #28. Last issue we found out that Juggernaut is chained to Cyclops, first of all. And second of all, Cyclops has basically a bomb inside him that is going to go off if anyone tries to move him. So, pretty intense, but this is an issue I've been waiting to read. They have to figure out a way to break out Juggernaut. Basically, they have a day to do it. So, this is going to be pretty intense, but I'm very excited for it. Yeah, Firestar is still working from the inside, and not everybody knows, though, so it's going to be interesting for sure.
No, definitely. But yeah, I mean, poor fucking Cyclops, man. I feel so bad for him. He lost his fucking wife. He lost his fucking country. He got a fucking bomb put into him, and he got his eyes sewn shut. Like, talk about a rough year, month, day. Like,
but yeah, Fall of X has been trucking along, so I'm excited to pick up this issue. All right, well, that has been our weekly pulls for November 1st. Comment down below what you guys are excited to read and pick up this week, as always. And,
what are you dressing up as?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what your Halloween costumes are. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, support your local comic shops, and read comics.